Hey, what's happening, gamers? This is Double RPG here, and welcome to another episode of the 4DS Audio Podcast. As I said, I am Double RPG, and joining me for this episode we have...
Bad Gamer,
Charlio,
and as always, Amiga Mario.
Yeah, so how's everybody doing today on this fine, lovely weekend?
I'm fine as always.
Fine. I'm doing exceptionally fine. I'm happy today.
Aren't we all happy? And Omega, how you doing?
Not too bad, just sitting here playing Sonic Generations.
Nice.
Well, I've been playing some Uncharted 3, and I can say amazing.
Cool.
I've been playing something a little bit of everything today because
I finally finished up recording footage for the first Kingdom Hearts, and I should be moving on Tales of the Abyss shortly, so that way I can get that Let's Play started within the next 2 or 3 weeks, because Donkey Kong 64 is about to wrap up on Double RPG's Let's Play.
Awesome.
Awesome, yeah. Been having a lot of fun with DK64, and since it's about time to wrap up, it's time for me to move on to something new.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And definitely be a good preview for you guys, since you guys are getting it in just a few weeks, actually.
Yup.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah, for the 3DS.
Awesome. I need to get that game. I've told you about that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's
Again, everything comes out next week for some stupid reason.
oh yeah.
I want
Skyrim.
Skyrim, Super Mario 3D Land, and then after that, we got Skyward Sword coming.
Oh yes. Skyward
yes.
Sword.
That's definitely going to be our next.
Everything.
That's definitely going to be in our episode list in the next couple of episodes or whatever. But
Yep.
We'll just wait and reserve all of our Zelda fanboyism until then. But anyway, guys, for those of you joining for the first time, the 4DS Audio Podcast, we are a weekly show where we talk about the biggest piece of news and the big highlight. Then we go to Retro Gems to talk about a video game system, a video game series, or a video game character in retrospect. Then we talk about the big release, which game got the big release this week. And then we go to the Execution, our favorite segment, where we execute a game for all eternity. And then we go to the Video Game Playground to talk about what we have been playing, and it's going to be another awesome, stellar show for you all today. So, anyway, guys, if you guys are ready, I think it's time for us to get on with our first segment. Let's get this gravy train rolling and get on with the big highlight.
Let's kick it off.
The big highlight! Let's kick it off. And don't worry, we're not going to be fully teasing you guys with what we're going to talk about for the big highlight, because I'm sure lots of you are going to want our opinion on this. And what
I regret nothing after the last episode.
Yeah, but the big highlight we're talking about this week is that Rockstar released the debut trailer for the next game in their flagship franchise, which is Grand Theft Auto 5.
On a side note, before we actually start, yes, we know that the Zelda 3DS game has kind of been announced, but really, what are we supposed to talk about it? We have literally nothing.
Well, we could always speculate.
Yeah, well, there's always that room.
But it won't work for all.
Yeah, but anyway, it's GTA. It's GTA 5 people, and we have to talk about it. So.
Yep. So anyway, guys, Bad Gamer, your first thoughts.
Well, first of all, I am kind of happy, like many other people, that it seems to be taking place in San Andreas. So.
Actually,
or in that kind of area?
Yeah, that kind of area, but the place is actually Los Santos.
Yeah, but anyway, it's still out in where the world of GTA San Andreas took place, so...
Uh-huh.
I also noticed quite quickly, the moment they said they were going to follow different people in this, that they took a cue from Yakuza 4, which did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how they're going to pull this off. At least in Yakuza, they had some sort of like we follow one character, then after a couple of chapters, it ended quite nicely, but it still had some sort of red thread that connected them all. So I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with this one.
Yep, same here.
Okay.
Interesting.
Omega, your thoughts?
On GTA, I think it's actually quite interesting to see how the actual game will pull off. Because don't forget, we only just saw like a teaser for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's still something.
Right.
Well, yeah. As the old saying goes, something is better than nothing.
Well, I think this is the first game in the series where, the first numbered title in the series where it doesn't even take place in Liberty City.
Which is great.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because, basically, I just say that the Vice City and San Andreas are all just like one big link to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't mean that they were bad games, but,
No, of course not.
but I really do think that San Andreas is when gaming started really pushing the envelope with the whole censorship issue.
Yup.
Hot coffee? Hot coffee, anyone?
Yeah.
That and the first game to make it fully uncensored.
Yup.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Carlio, your thoughts. Did you see the trailer any at all?
Yes, and it looks interesting. I mean, as I said, there's not so much gameplay as it is just, fun facts and stuff like that. Like, reoccurring character from San Andreas, who apparently speaks through the whole trailer, like, I thought, basically, the old school, I thought I was out of this, but then they pulled me back in.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, stereotypical, but then again, this is GTA, so we're not really surprised. Question is if they're going to continue with the serious route that GTA 4 started, or if they're going to do like going back to old school San Andreas. And right now it seems very much GTA 4 more than San Andreas.
Right.
I kind of like the serious route that the 4 went, actually, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but most people and some people may think it's bad because more people like the silliness and therefore will buy San Andreas, Saints Row. Next week or something.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Saints Row too, but at the same time, there's no wrong with some silliness in it. It just in Saints Row, it's like crime does pay, but in GTA, it's like crime has a price.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just I like both of them. So, but I like the serious. I prefer the serious note because it feels like crime is not always so glamorous as they want you to believe. It costs people. It costs not only your life, it could cost someone else's life.
Yeah.
Anything. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and by the way, if you want to see more seriousness in gaming, I think Payday the Heist. I'm not sure.
I haven't tried. I haven't bought it yet. So I haven't tried it. So.
Well, anyway, my thoughts. GTA 5 definitely does look pretty, looking at the visuals. But not only did it have Carl Johnson from San Andreas talking, but they also showed characters from past GTA titles as well.
Guys, that was not CJ.
That was not CJ?
Nope.
No.
Was that somebody else?
Yes. Apparently they say it's Tommy Fassetti.
Oh, yes. I forgot.
You
How
absolute
dare you
wally.
forget? Never forget.
Sorry, but yes. Tommy Vercetti, that's what IGN has been speculating, or what journalists have been speculating who's talking, and I have to agree to them in some extent. And,
The only thing we can do is wait and see.
yeah, exactly. But was it just me, or was it some of the other protagonists from the past GTA franchise also present within the trailer as well?
I tried to look, but I didn't really see, but I will take. I'm gonna take some more looks and start looking around a bit more. So.
Because from what Rockstar has said, or what Take-Two has said, they're trying to move into a bold new direction for the franchise. So I'm not sure whether or not if that means if they're going to try something new, or maybe try to pull, a Saints Row type of gameplay within the next entry, or whether if they're going to do something completely different that will try to differentiate itself from the other, sandbox realistic games,
Yeah, I don't know either, but I can say something. I'm actually glad that they did not take the route that many fans speculated. Like, I think someone even expected it was going to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been really, really weird.
Oh gosh, that I guarantee you, if they set that in Africa, then I guarantee you there would be lots of allegations of racism that people would not like in that game, and it would get heavily just criticized. But Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean, personally, I think Grand Theft Auto kind of set sail for me ever since San Andreas, so I'm not really big into the series anymore, but who knows, maybe this one will have, some glimmer of hope for the future, because I definitely think that the series has become, well, even though it's very popular, but I think it's become quite overrated for doing the exact same thing within all the games where you do things that are mission-based for story progression and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes you wish, there was a bit more variety to, get the story moving than just having to do missions and such.
Yeah, I can admit that, but at the same time, it seems that's what the population like, and I kind of like the story structure a bit more than just.
Uh-huh.
But hey, who knows?
But they're different opinions.
Yeah, they're just opinions, but we don't know when Grand Theft Auto 5 will release, but I speculate it's probably going to be a late 2012 release, if not that.
I see sometimes in 13, so
probably 2013 at the latest, but
yeah.
But it looks, I mean, it does look promising, but we'll just have to keep our eyes out and see what all they announce more, but we'll probably know more until E3 2012, which they say that people will have their eyes gazed upon more, at the front of the LA Convention Center, because they're going to be showing off a lot more of GTA 5 until then. So, anyway, our thoughts on GTA 5 fully? Well, we'll just have to wait until E3 2012 in June. And we'll definitely give you our full thoughts on that as well. So,
and entire E3 at that time also. So,
oh yeah, it's going to be.
No way.
Yeah,
let's hope Mr. Caffey comes back again.
Oh yeah, because I'm going to load a pistol and just shoot him through the internet.
You really don't like him, do you?
He's so whack. He's so trippy. I'll just say it that much.
I had a time of my life when I was watching the Ubisoft.
I mean, who in the world just gets all hyper like that and just do that off Wayne's World?
I love that.
Totally Ubisoft. I don't know.
Well, somebody at Ubisoft was
they brought-
definitely on caffeine at the time when thinking about this.
Next time, let's not give this guy coffee. How about that?
Yeah, they're probably just going to give him crack to make him all wasted.
Well, at least we got some good news. Like,
Then we could just call him Mr. Crack.
Hey
Hey guys, what's up?
Wanna see this new awesome game?
Yeah, woo. Well, anyway, guys. Anyway, enough of the big highlight. It's time for us to move on, and we're going to talk about something very special in Retro Gems.
Retro Gems.
Yeah.
Cool indeed. And since the system is approaching its 10-year anniversary, we are talking about the GameCube for Retro Gems today. So,
Hold on, Kyle. There's really good irony in that.
oh yeah?
How come?
10 years ago, there was Sonic Adventure 2, weren't there?
Oh yes, there
Yeah.
was.
What was the title for Nintendo GameCube? Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Exactly.
Irony!
Yeah.
My favorite Nintendo console, actually. My second favorite. The favorite's still Super Nintendo, but still.
Yeah. I mean,
For me, the GameCube was when I I've always gamed in my life, but the GameCube is when I took it, became more of a gamer than I was then when I was younger.
I definitely think that the GameCube was probably the turning point for Nintendo. Not at the beginning, but like around near the end of its life, like around one third of the way of its life cycle, because it was around then.
Like its first year.
Well, its first year I think was pretty abysmal. Well, not in terms of the games, but the way that the system was handled, because around that time it was like the final year of the ex-president of Nintendo, Hiroshi Yamauchi, and he was still not a very kind individual when he was at Nintendo, because of his stance with saying we don't want RPGs on our system and all that bullcrap. But yeah, I think that was the turning point where Nintendo started to stop losing respect, to where they gained more respect when Iwata came into office back in 2002, and that's when he started working so hard to try to save GameCube sales, although, the coffin had already been nailed by the time, when the GameCube ended its life cycle.
It's sad. It's a very it's the same that what happened to the Dreamcast. It's a very underrated console.
Mm-hmm.
It's in itself. I mean, the GameCube may not have. The GameCube had one of the best lineups, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Eternal Darkness, and Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Luigi's Mansion 2 came out on the GameCube.
Luigi's Mansion.
What travesty is this?
But
Space travel.
I mean, the Zelda, Wind Waker, one of my favorite Zelda games.
And they also had the Four Swords Adventures, which I also liked.
Yes, Metroid Prime and 2.
Super Mario Sunshine, which I definitely think is probably the weakest of the 3D Mario games, in my opinion.
The Game Boy Player.
Oh, yes.
I never managed to buy a Game Boy Player.
And even Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4, which in my opinion is the best version of the all three until the Wii version came out with, which is the best version since that came out. But
yeah, I
still believe that the GameCube version is the best, most because that in the cutscenes you get what Leon is wearing. The PS2, oh no, it seems to not be able to handle that.
Yeah.
Where am I going?
And even the Resident Evil 1 remake and Resident Evil 0 came out on that system as well. And we also got, like, Beautiful Joe and even...
Engine a Go-Go, baby!
Yeah, exactly.
Also got...
Engine a Go-Go, baby!
We also got
Super
Fire
Mario.
Emblem Path of Radiance and...
Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, and Tales of Symphonia.
Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Sonic
Bat
Heroes.
Kaidos.
Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is apparently the most favorite of the series.
I'd still prefer Brawl, but Melee wasn't that bad. It was broken, but it was still...
The thing is, every version is better than other ones. Super Smash Bros. Was good. Melee was better than the first one. Brawl, in my opinion, is better than Melee. But, I mean, they're good in their own ways, but what more is there to argue about? I mean,
yeah.
I like that many characters, so...
Yeah. I mean, the GameCube, it was definitely, it's definitely what Nintendo should be doing right now. It's that games that people actually want to play, and I think the GameCube managed to succeed in that with its life cycle, because it did manage to produce a lot of games that we actually wanted to play that, that they put out at the time.
Sadly, it failed to produce any sales.
Yeah. But
that's the only problem with it, really.
I think it's most because it got a very bad start. I mean, the PS2 was out that time, and it was
then
the Xbox came out not long after the GameCube. So it got trapped between something that was many people already have, and then a console many people were looking forward to, and right between came the GameCube. But there was such a small gap that it didn't have the time to expand, and people like, oh look, the GameCube.
Right. Well, it's the thing is that the GameCube did kind of have it, I mean, really did have a bad run because it didn't have a DVD player like the PS2 and the Xbox, and the discs for the GameCube were not at high capacity like the PS2. You know how the PS2 cornered the market at the time. So, yeah, there were a lot of flaws with the system, but I think it was still it was a decent product overall. But it's just with the content that it offered. I mean, in terms of like the specs for the system, they weren't on par with what the PS2 and the Xbox had at the time. So.
No, but it still had a pretty decent library, in my opinion. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah. It has great games, but it had just a really bad start that screwed off for it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Yamauchi, for your shrewd and prune nature.
Yeah.
You had to thank Iwata for trying to save.
His problem, really?
Well, you want to know what? Yeah, he back around the N64 era, Yamauchi he bashed Square at the time for not including Final Fantasy VII on the Nintendo 64, and he pretty much burned a lot of bridges that went over to Sony at the time. So that's how he made people lose respect in Nintendo because of his shrewd nature.
So that's why Square Enix. So that's why Kingdom Hearts was released on Sony. I get it.
No.
Yeah, I know. He's just kidding.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that
Am I
in
the
terms
only one
of
face palming right now?
face palming, what are you talking about?
I don't have a clue who or what you're on about.
I'm talking about the ex-president of Nintendo and how he.
Mr. Duke's bag.
Right, excuse me while I go and get my head in the toilet.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, you do that, but I'd say that the GameCube definitely had its had its time to shine at some points, but overall it just didn't have that same it just didn't capture the same magic as the PS2 to corner the market with the stuff that it offered.
Well, it's mostly because the only things that actually were good was the first party. There was rarely any third parties that made it to shine, actually.
Yeah,
how many third-party titles were there actually besides Resident Evil and I think Eternal?
No, Eternal Darkness was a first-party title.
Yeah,
Eternal was first parties. It just, as I said, the thing is, when it was if you think about it, most of the games we rattle up is first-party titles.
Yeah.
Except for Sonic and Resident Evil.
And Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The best version of those two. Okay, what you say? Twin Snake is better.
Well, I still like both of them, but yeah.
I like both of them, but still I prefer Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, third-party support for the, it wasn't, third-party support didn't remain a huge problem for Nintendo until, the start of the Nintendo 64. And that's why, over the years, Nintendo, even up until now, Nintendo hasn't been able to, work really well with third parties to get most of their games out for their, systems. And that's where, even the Wii had its problems because of all the massive amounts of shovelware that came out and how the system was more garnered as a casual system rather than, being directly hardcore or, directly appealing to both audience members. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the same thing goes with the third-party with the Wii. I mean, when I look at my collection, I only have what I know 2 games that is third-party. It's Vermosa the Demon Blade and Sonic Colors. Everything else is made by Nintendo or their first-party developers.
Well, of course, they had No More Heroes, so that was a good third-party title.
Okay, then I have 4 then, because I have both 1 and 2.
And Zack and Wiki.
Don't have that.
And,
I never really liked that game.
Yeah.
Sure, it looked good, but it wasn't really something
Okay.
think
and Mad
the
World. Can't forget that.
Mad World, oh yeah.
I think the only third-party games I had was Knight's Journey into Dreams. Great game, pick it up.
Okay.
Sonic Colors. Mario Galaxy 2. Well, that was a first party, but these are like the only games I had on the Wii. Brawl, Mario Kart Wii, and can't remember the other one I had.
Yeah. Well, overall, guys, do you think that the GameCube has lasting appeal even after 10 years?
Oh yeah, I'm still playing
Yeah.
my GameCube games.
Yes, if you've got the old model Wii's and not the ones they're going to release at Christmas to make a quick buck before the Wii U comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have the first when they released the Wii. So
Yep. Me too.
the only thing that made me a bit angry was when they updated so you couldn't do the swap thing. So you could play a board game without having an action replay or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing Guru Larry's video on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, you could do that? Oh my god, I need to test this. And I was like, yes, I can play my imported games. And then after like an update, it didn't work. I'm like, why?
And we also know that with the Wii U that they are going to be putting GameCube games on their Virtual Console service for that system.
No?
Yep. But the only thing that I'm pretty sure that people are going to be nagged by is that there's not going to be any GameCube support for the system, and they're all complaining because they want the GameCube controller to be a part of the next Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a load of people who prefer the GameCube input for Smash Bros.
Right.
I do.
And so, anyway, but to conclude on Retro Gems, we definitely all think that the GameCube still holds out even after 10 years, but it's a legacy that we feel is most likely underrated, but and one that was a commercial failure in terms of like 20 million units sold, but was still a pretty decent, powerful system regardless because of all the, well, especially the first-party titles and some of the moderate amounts of third-party titles that we got as well, but it was still a good system overall. Okay, but overall, if you don't have a GameCube, be sure you go to like a used game store or whatever, or buy one off, that's online, like through Amazon or eBay or whatever, and
just get the games we just talked about.
Yeah, and even get some of the accessories like the Game Boy player, where you can play Game Boy Advance games and that stuff, and you can play them on your TV. It was definitely an underrated system, but definitely a good one at that.
Also, if you're in the, I think it. Oh, do any no idea where the Retro Hunters are? Because they normally go to Denios. If you go there and try and find a GameCube,
right?
Like any flea markets, just trust me, a GameCube is a brilliant system. If you can even get it with a Game Boy player.
Oh, yes.
And you can buy it for like $20 or something. I
wish I had one. Then I could play Golden Sun on the big screen. That would be awesome.
Yes. Okay, guys. I think that will go ahead and that will conclude our talk on Retro Gems. And now it's time for us to get on with the big release.
The big release.
Yes. Big release.
Big release, as we're doing a complete 180 on a couple of the games that we axed throughout the whole time we did this podcast to a game that actually is pretty decent. And we are talking about Sonic Generations. We're talking about Sonic Generations for the big release this week.
Damn it!
Yes, many years in the waiting.
But yeah, okay, let's go with Sonic Gen.
Yeah.
We know, guys, again.
We know that Uncharted 3 came out, but we'll have Bad Gamer talk about the game when we get to the video game playground. So
yes, I'm on your side. The viewers.
In other words, listeners, you'll be getting a double big release this week.
Oh yes.
Exactly.
But yes, the big release is later, so don't worry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anyway, I know Bad Gamer said that he didn't even have anything to say about Sonic Generations because he hasn't picked it up yet, so
well, I can't tell you how it looks. It looks pretty.
But for some of us who got hands on it with it, especially for Omega and myself, Omega, why don't you give us your honest thoughts about the whole game?
Yeah, the Sonic fan.
Well, as you can remember, 5 years ago, Episode 1 we hacked. Well, not 5 years ago, you know what I mean. But 5 years ago, it was Sonic's 15th, and they decided to release Sonic 06.
And let's move past from that one.
And let's close that book, because that could have nearly killed Sonic. 5 years now. Goodness me, Sega. I'm releasing a first impressions video after this recorded. So, yeah. You'll hear all my opinions on there, but I just really want to say that Sega have done a fantastic job with this game. You take everything you love about classic Sonic, chuck it in a modern stew. Oh, fangasm. Absolutely fantastic. Also, they took everything they learned from the day levels of Unleashed, Colors, and Rush. And oh my god, words cannot describe how happy I am with Sega on this.
Yeah, I mean, Sega's definitely pulled themselves out of the mud ever since Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I mean, that's when Sonic games started to get good again after the atrocity of Sonic 06. But yeah, I agree. It's Sonic Generations definitely a good amount of fan service from past entries, and it really it goes together really well for this game.
I agree.
Yes.
I maybe agree. I don't know.
You know, Bad Gamer, the demo is out. The demo of Sonic Generations has been out for like 2 weeks on PlayStation. You don't have.
I can't really give a full impression on it with just a demo. The demo.
You can give some impressions.
Yes, I enjoyed it. It looks pretty. I like both the 2D and 3D stages, and the little music I can listen to, I heard, was really good. I like the remix of the Green Hill Zone. So.
Mm-hmm. And it even includes one of the best levels of any Sonic game that you really like, which is the City Escape level.
Yes.
Yeah, and
also has a skateboard monitor for classic Sonic.
Yes. Well, it's not the first time that classic Sonic's got to be on like that snowboard or whatever, because he actually did that in Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in City Escape, they give him a skateboard, which you don't really expect until you're like...
Oh, I see.
But it's like the fast shoes, isn't it?
But, for the first time, in this game, you actually do get to see, characters from, both modern-day Sonic and classic Sonic being in levels that they haven't even been to before. You actually see different perspectives of their, of those classic levels into their own eyes. It's the first time you ever see modern Sonic go into the Green Hill Zone with all those 3Ds.
No.
Oh yes, Sonic Adventure 2, but it was completely different. This is completely different.
Yes,
Wait,
this is a good one. This is actually good.
You guys don't that well we just been to seems oddly familiar. And then Tails goes, I can't put my finger on it. So yeah, you have Tails go to see Green Hill.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what this is. So yeah.
It technically makes sense.
But gameplay-wise...
classic Sonic, more or less, is the one to go to levels that you haven't expected him in, like Speed Highway and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the classic levels, like Green Hill and Chemical Plant and Sky Sanctuary, it's the first time you actually see modern Sonic, go through those levels in a totally different perspective.
Actually,
let me say this: Sky Sanctuary is one of the most...
Yes, I agree, guys. But actually, the modern Sonic has actually been the Green Hill Zone, but it's really hard to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Adventure 2 Battle, if you get every emblem in the game...
Yeah, every emblem. Yeah, Green Forest is keeping me back from that.
Yes, you get to play Green Hill Zone with the classical jump, the sound when you catch rings, and the music in a 3D perspective.
Yeah.
I've actually managed to play that, but most because I decided to, after so many years, I decided to, you know what, Action Replay, do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me all the emblems.
Give Bad Gamer all the emblems.
Well, so far, I've managed to get through the classic stages. I haven't even gone to the Dreamcast stages or the modern day stages yet. I haven't had that much time, but Oh, but from what I've played so far, it still holds holds up really well. Even though there are times when the controls are floaty, I think it's because I have the PS3 version, in which Omega has been saying. But I definitely doubt that's the case. But
Yeah.
But all in all, I definitely think it's brimming with lots of replay value. I mean, there's lots of things you can do. You can do side missions, and you can even take on the rival battles, which are the coin equivalent of Eggman boss battles in the game to get the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, you need to do the rival battles to do the end boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, isn't
For
that
a
you have
reason.
to get,
We won't
like,
spoil.
Isn't that often a given that when there's hunting for Chaos Emerald to get the final battle?
Yeah,
final
but
fight
like
battle,
this
so-
one, you can't go straight to the time meter and go, I'm going to battle you, because you need all the Chaos Emeralds to actually get to him.
Mm-hmm.
For a reason.
Yeah, but I'm gonna buy it at some point. But as I said, next week, guys, next week is my money is set on something else. The week after that, also, and next week I have to do I'm not gonna buy any games, mostly because I have to bills to pay, but that we're not gonna go through. And then it's December, so I need to. And then
Basically.
sometime next year, that's when I'm gonna have the time to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played the
let's
I
get
played also the
Christmas.
classic stages, but at the Game Expo Con, basically, which is a pretty fun place. But anyway, I played the 3 first stages there and all, and I'm gonna say Sky Sanctuary looks just beautiful. Chemical Plant it plays great. And Green Hill Zone, well, that was a demo. It was good. It was really good. But Sky Sanctuary looks so gorgeous. I cannot believe that they pulled it off so well.
My only gripe with classic Sonic is that after you jump, you can hit the button to do that shock attack that surrounds him. You know what I'm talking about, Omega? From Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have access to that in that game, and I thought that actually would have made it a lot better to, hit the enemies from them having to, damage you a whole lot, and
Yeah, that was a pretty good skill in the third one, so yeah.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's my only gripe with the game, but all in all, I definitely think it's a really good game to represent the 20th anniversary, even though it retraces past material. But
it's a better version than Mario that's for sure.
Yeah, and the Metroid one.
Yeah.
but
But just one question, just one. I suppose most people have seen the opening sequence to Sonic Generations,
Nope.
and I have a question for you guys right now. What the hell how the hell can Blaze even exist at the party? I mean, in any way, it becomes weird, because if you go by the Rush logic, she's in another dimension. If you go by 06 logic, she's in the future. Either way, something happened. I want to know what.
She traveled back in time because she can. Magic.
I mean,
All
the dimension
convenience.
works because she can travel. I suppose she can travel between dimensions thanks to the Soul Emeralds, I think they're called.
I think so.
Yeah, that makes at least some bit of sense. But then Omega goes and says, well, 06 is more canon than Rush. And then I just goes, what? No, that doesn't work that way. How would... Besides, 06 shouldn't even be considered canon, because it was rewritten out of the whole story thanks to the ending.
Well,
Yeah, it actually did. But what about Sonic CD then?
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's officially canon.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but it
canon,
wasn't in the games.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't in Sonic Generation. That's a good question, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely true.
Maybe they wanted to have, like, 333 would be too much otherwise.
Well, I mean, there's a possibility that DLC is going to be heavy for Sonic Generations, to where they will include some Sonic CD levels and maybe some Sonic Rush
they
levels.
need to for that game, because
Although Metal
Stardust
Sonic
Speedway
isn't.
only represents it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, although Metal Sonic is in the game, so and by the way, that's a really fun. That was a surprisingly fun boss battle.
Oh yeah, I played that too.
Like when the beat is, you know, when the beat is start. I mean, I could barely hear it, but I could still hear it be like, wow, wow, wow. I was like, oh yeah, boss time.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's definitely another good step for Sonic's reputation in terms of the bad rep he's been getting for about the past 5 years. But you know,
I still think he's regained something with Colors, so it hasn't had it that long.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Colors would be good, so.
Oh yeah, Colors was amazing. But
haven't done either.
Sonic, it looks like Sonic Generations is definitely another good step to bringing back a classic icon to this generation. And we have been hearing reports also that Sonic could be changing in 2012. I'm not sure if it's in relation to his character design or the...
no, not character design, because you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I think it's just the change of a new era in terms of the Sonic games. Like, you know, we had the classic era, and then we had the Dreamcast era, and then we have the modern era. So what's going to be next? The space era?
Yes.
Sonic in space.
Oh God.
As long as there's no redesign of the character, I'm gonna be calm. Mostly because I don't really care how he's gonna look. I'm still gonna like the game. It's just that don't take this the wrong way for the people, for these guys, for your people. But you guys, the Sonic fans, you guys are sometimes really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm different from the Sonic fans. I don't care whether Sonic's legs are long.
And I don't care if he's slimmed down or have longer quills or have irises or whatever.
I didn't say everyone should take this. It's just that those people who does. I mean, when he got his voice, everyone like Griffith. I was like, what? Come on, guys.
Yeah, I'm a Griffith.
Both. Yeah, he wasn't the best, but he was sort of tolerable. It was sort of like tolerable. I kind of like the new one.
Oh, Roger Craig Smith. Yeah, he actually does pretty good.
Ezio Auditore. Yeah.
Well, I've been saying this too, that Roger Craig Smith is, you know, playing as Sonic's voice now. He's more like the Kevin Conroy of the Batman universe.
Hey guys, what's going on?
He sounds more normal for some reason. It's great.
I still think in the snarky attitude, you know, in the original snarky attitude, I still think that Ryan Drummond and Jaleel White were the best. But in terms of video games, it was definitely Ryan Drummond that stood out for me the most.
Yeah. But I looked online this morning on DeviantArt, and there's someone, because I said to Larry yesterday, I went, I bet you there's bound to be some art on DeviantArt with Sonic in Assassin's Creed out clothing.
Ooh.
And there's a picture of Sonic in Ezio's Assassin's Creed 2 costume.
Nice.
Cool.
Wait.
So, anyway, guys, would you give your thumbs up for people to buy Sonic Generations, or do you think it's for more of the core fan audience, or whatever?
No clue.
Yes.
And Carleo?
What?
You definitely think that Sonic Generation is for everybody, or just the core fan base?
What do you think?
Everybody.
Yes.
And I definitely agree too. So, for those of you,
Okay, I agree.
For those of you who haven't picked up Sonic Generations, be sure to do it now. Do it now, and it's at a very good price. I mean, it's not at the exact same amount as what you would get for a PS3 or an Xbox title or Xbox 360 title. It's at a really good cheap price. I mean, it's $50 in the United States, which I'm not sure how much that equates to euros in Europe, or you know how much quid or whatever in the UK, but. Or Swedish crowns or whatever, but
I'm just checking up. Roughly around 500 bucks, 500 Swedish crowns, guys.
Yep.
So,
Yay. Sweet.
So yes, go pick it up.
So I'm just sitting here enjoying my Casino Night DLC that I got as a game exclusive.
Oh yes, me too. Well, I mean, I got that as exclusive as well, but yeah, I'll be definitely getting some hands-on time with that soon. But yeah, definitely pick it up today. It's at a good price, and you can't even beat $50 for that.
I would actually
It's
buy
at
this
a
game.
good price, stranger.
Actually, if I have some money left, I'm maybe gonna buy it next week after Skyrim.
Okay.
So maybe I get it earlier than I thought.
Anyway, guys, I think we're done with the big releases. Now it's time to move on to the execution because I have a lot to talk about.
The execution.
I have a lot to talk about the person who did that.
Yeah.
I have something to talk about it because
angry.
Yeah. And the birds
I
are going to
suppose I
come
have to be the
flocking in
pets.
at me and start to peck at me. And I really don't care because if you didn't get from the segues that, Omega and I were talking about, we are talking about Angry Birds today for the execution.
Most
What?
overrated thing ever.
What? I mean, where can I start with Angry Birds? I can just sum up this game like Bad Gamer said. It's completely overrated. It's you do literally the exact same thing, even in all the different versions of the game. Like Angry Birds Seasons and even Angry Birds Rio. But it's just it doesn't have any long-lasting appeal. I'm sorry for all of you guys who enjoy smartphone gaming, but Angry Birds is just a cheaply made flash game that is, that's all points based, which I particularly don't mind. But there's just no payoff in buying something that is free, for everybody to play, and that's been downloaded over 500 million times, and it's just it should not even exist.
Dude, it's free if you got Google Chrome.
if you got Android, but then again, Android is not exactly the
And I
best
definitely-
for it.
Not only that, the dude who made that thinks that he sells one free app. He thinks he thinks he can utter a single word about the game industry. What he thinks that the game industry should focus on, and what is the best way to expand the gaming world. I say no.
No way.
Go back to your corner and you shut up until you can prove at least be somewhat successful as Notch, or at least one of those indie games like Terraria, the guys who made Terraria or something like that. Then maybe you can have something to say.
Yeah, it's just that the guy at Rovio, he is just a complete egotistical maniac for, even just slamming a lot of people and saying that Angry Birds is the new Super Mario Brothers because it totally it totally exceeds Super Mario Brothers in every right. And I was like, no, it doesn't.
Oh my! I am
so good at Extreme Super Mario. Oh, shut the heck up.
But yeah, it's just Angry Birds. I mean, even take a look at the story. I mean, the Angry Birds own young egg, baby eggs that
basically goes to pigs kidnaps 3 eggs, used the entire species, my species to save them.
yeah.
I mean, what? It's just 3 eggs. I think one of your females can lay a couple more, and then we're like, yay.
Yeah, very basic stereotypical plot.
Although,
Yeah.
yes, some games that we like are stereotypical at the same time. I mean, Peach still get kidnapped, but at the same time,
I mean, it's still somehow a better plot than this.
oh yeah, at least that makes sense.
Oh yeah. And there's one
at the same time not. I mean,
and
why
there's
would
one
it-
thing that Nintendo actually managed to keep well intact with the Mario games, even though they're milked the right way, and it's quality. They're more about quality instead of quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, at least there's party games that's still actually kind of fun. So yeah.
Yeah. And but Angry Birds, when you're just only selling, like 3 different versions of basically the same game and just making a crap load of profit off of it, when you have no way in heck to avoid a potential loss in the future, yeah, it's just I just don't know what to even think of it.
I mean, the thing is, the first one is like free, but then the sort of DLC, use that loosely, that one cost you.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And it gets better because they're right now talking about a movie of Angry Birds.
Uh,
How?
Who's doing that? Who's doing
how
that?
can they make a movie about Angry Birds? I want to know the logic behind this. I seriously do.
I don't know. The higher DreamWorks. I don't know. Then they could use that eyebrow thing. Like, yeah, it's all.
It's just all birds committing suicide by hitting themselves on the wooden planks or whatever just to kill a bunch of
what? I've
pigs.
got a tear
Everyone,
in my eye.
grab a coat hanger. You need to defend yourself.
Guys, I have seriously got a tear in my eye.
Why so?
Because the way it's going. Why Angry Birds movie? What next?
Angry Birds taking over every single franchise in the world?
Nope. Nope.
Angry Birds Mario and one?
I actually think that Angry Birds may be popular, but still not as big as Ponies. So
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Look,
there's going to be a giant internet war between birds and ponies.
I am worried that Rovio are actually going to approach Hasbro and say, "Can we do a My Little Pony based?"
Angry Birds game.
That would be
Oh,
fun. wouldn't
God.
it?
Yeah.
At the same time, if he does that, he's a genius. I mean, the big fan base of Friendship is Magic and the My Little Pony right now.
And I'll
They
even
would-
say this right now, that My Little Pony's Friendship is Magic is 100 times better than Angry Birds.
No, it's 20% cooler. That's what it is.
Exactly. Thank you, Carly. I didn't need to say that.
Yeah, I can do references, no big deal, but I still don't like this show. Come at me, bro.
I'm
But-
so lonely.
But,
Yes, you are. What are you doing here? Get out.
but,
Carly.
yeah, it's just, Carlio and Omega, did you have anything else to say about Angry Birds? Because I don't.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's not that it is bad, okay? It is okay, but it's
bad.
overrated. That's the thing.
It's boring and bad.
I want to say it's bad. I would say, well, why does it get so much popularity for? There's no reason.
Because
That's
it's
everything.
simple. It's the definitive of pick up and play.
And it's free.
Exactly. But it shouldn't be that popular to get a movie. That's my problem.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that popular to get its crap load of merchandise, too, so...
Yeah, what is up with that anyway? Like,
Yes, completely overrated, completely just blown up way too heavily, and it's just I really don't see this as a franchise that's gonna go down, that farther in history, just based on... Okay.
I hope something horrible happens to him because I
know.
don't really want to have horrible things happen
Wow,
to
the
people.
4DS podcast certainly taken a dark turn, hasn't it, this week?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is, and you
Because
want to
the game
know...
is overrated. The dude who made it is a douchebag, and I just don't like him.
Yeah, it's just, I know that we may sound like miserable little nobodies talking about this, but no, it's just, we definitely agree where this is all going, and we definitely think that Angry Birds needs to be axed for all eternity. Yeah, queue up guy, axe the game, please.
Finish him!
Invitation!
Yes. Yeah, finally, I had to get that out of my chest, but yes, Angry Birds definitely not our cup of tea. Just, if you prefer high-quality games, then go play the console games, and go play the 3DS or the PSP, or possibly the PS
Play
Vita.
something good.
Yeah, play something good. Do not play something that's cheaply made, and just where the creator just turns out to be a total freaking butthead.
Butthead.
Yeah. And I'm sure... Okay, guys. I think we're done with the execution. Now it's time for us to go to the video game playground.
The video game playground.
Yay, something
Finally,
joyous.
something good.
Okay, finally I can relieve my blood pressure right now after that huge blow-up that I had, and I can finally talk about something happy for once. Yay!
We all can. Well, actually, we talked about.
Hey.
Everything was happy. Just the Angry Birds kind of pissed us off.
Yes. Carlio, let's go with you first. What have you been playing?
Oh man. What have I not been playing?
Okay, what have you not been playing?
I have not been playing Resident Evil. That's a good way to start things off. No, seriously though, I've been playing Batman. I have been playing Plants vs Zombies because that was 50% off on Halloween, which was great, by the way. I mean, some people may say, "Oh, well, it's just another tower defense game." Well, here's the thing: it's not just a tower defense game. It has mini games, and that's not what. And not every tower defense game actually has that. So there's that. I know Bad Gamer is going to disagree with me on this one.
Yeah, I kind of hate everything about tower defense games because I found more of them to be the same but a different skin. But let's go on.
Yeah, but for some reason, actually, well, the thing is, Plants vs Zombies has some sort of personality to it because not only is it a tower defense game, it's usually something. It usually has like every 5 levels is something else, or this minigame section of like, for example, Portal Combat and stuff like that, and like Beguled. And there's a lot of things to do, just not to plant and defend. There is more to it than that, which is great. Second, also I've been playing Sonic Generations. As I said before, great game again, but not a full game, sadly. But still, I want to play Uncharted 3. Have not done that yet. I did actually test out the PS Vita for 2 minutes.
And your 2 cents?
On the 2 minutes I played, well, the climbing in the Uncharted PS Vita game is very good. And that's it. That is all I could do because the guy who managed it was like, "Oh, sorry, I have to give it over now." After 2 minutes of just climbing, so fun.
So the PS Vita is actually a pretty good device.
For the 2 minutes I played on it, it seems good. I mean, it's like it's basically it's better than the PS.
PSP.
Basically like a portable. Yeah, it's better. It's like a upgraded PSP and almost like a high, like the in between PS2 and PS3. So yeah, I'd recommend it. I'd probably recommend it when it comes out. But
But don't buy the 3G version. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do it.
If
Yeah,
you guys buy the
unless
3G
you
version, you guys are total suckers.
Unless you actually love to play online that much, then I don't think it's going to work out that well.
Yeah.
It's a matter of who's-
I've also been playing Mass Effect 3 demo that was on the GameX Expo
Okay.
in Sweden.
Wasn't that the
Yay.
multiplayer?
I haven't gotten to testing it yet. It is there though. I'm going to test it out tomorrow, hopefully, along with Diablo 3 and Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
See how they play. Maybe even Saints Row the 3rd because the line was so long to that.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3, long line. Diablo 3, heck of a long line. Saints Row 3rd, they just took forever to play inside the game there. I don't know what they were doing, but they just took forever to stand in that line. And I just never really got over to Mass Effect 3 multiplayer beta, but I can say that I have the Mass Effect 3 demo I played has officially made me what's it called? Pre-order it. Yeah, pre-order it. It officially made me pre-order the game because it's kind of like it is basically the gameplay from Mass Effect 2, and then with a lot more variation to it, which I like really a lot.
Okay.
And then I've also been playing Super Mario 3D Land.
How's that?
Awesome.
Oh, thank you. Now I have no regrets in buying that game when it comes out.
The levels we showed off were like the first level, then it was the underground level, then it was a over the clouds level, and then it was a airship level. All those 4 levels are great. I must say. I mean, in the demo, they didn't really show down the leaf, even though on all the levels you get a free leaf power up. They have taken the same power up system as they had in the first new Super Mario Bros.
Right.
On the DS. You can have you can have a power up in your bag or something like that on your on the screen. The 3D works. I mean, the controls maybe is a bit floaty, but it's still good. It doesn't take so a long while to get used to, that's for sure.
Okay.
Also, I tried out the Mario Kart 7.
Okay.
Great game. the snaking is back. They showed off like three courses. I think
Okay.
they're called.
Okay.
Oh, not the snake.
It was like, snake, can you snake?
I hate that.
I mean,
Playing
it's not
online
like
with people, playing online with people who master that, it's no fun. They just zooms past you and it's like, okay, what should I do now?
yeah, but it's not like it's so hard to. It's not like it's so hard to drift. Actually, I mean,
Oh no, I don't
when
have a
you,
problem with it.
yeah, when you do the drifting, it's very fluid. Let's just say that, and it runs amazingly smooth. By the way.
Yeah, I
You know,
heard that with the 3D on, you can actually get 60 frames a second on the game.
Yeah, it is amazing, and even the music. I mean, the three courses they showed off was like the pipe level we have seen before, the water level where you go under the water, and they show off the water mechanic.
Yeah.
And they showed off the new DK level, which is basically Congo Jungle.
Oh,
In
cool.
a sense. I mean, it has the Congo Jungle music playing, and the tikis are there.
Oh, the
It's basically-
tikis. I want the Kremlings.
I also want the Kremlings. I don't know, but new times and whatnot. I mean, they actually make for a really good level, though. You got to say that.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And yeah, and they just like those 3 laps. It's two laps around every course, 3 races, finish. I played Luigi as always because Luigi is awesome. And also because he was on the 8 original characters, but that's besides the point.
Did you
I
get a
also
chance to
played-
play Skyward Sword?
What do you think? Of course I did.
And your 2 cents on that one?
It worked better than I thought it would. Let's just say that. I mean, because of the awkward positioning of the motion sensor, it was kind of hard to swing the sword. But otherwise, it actually worked really well. And even though I suppose you're going to have to stop every half hour to reposition the Motion Plus controller.
Uh-huh.
That's probably the only problem with the thing I have, but still, it works surprisingly well. And I mean, in the demo, you got to fly the birds against the, Biff and his 2 companions.
Yeah.
Butthead, get over here, butthead.
Hey, butthead!
And he throws a ball into a balcony that kids are playing that they can't even reach, and he says, "Go get it!"
Yeah, but it's even more funny in the bird flying, because you have to. It's basically you're doing a race to win a statue that is on another bird, and when you first go to the bird, it's like, "Hey, don't you know it's my time to shine today?" And he just pushes you away, which you're not allowed to do. And then it's like 2 underlings that are flying with him. He's like, "Yeah, how do you like an egg in your face?" And start throwing eggs at you for some stupid reason.
Jerks.
Yeah, and then you do that, and then you get the bird statue, and then Zelda almost takes suicide by throwing herself off the cliff into Link's arms. But friendship, love.
What's so funny about Skyward Sword is that it'll actually be the first time you'll ever see Link use a lavatory. Yeah, he has to go in the bathroom, as
Ding.
Nintendo Capri-Sun would say.
Yeah. Also,
But the thing is that he doesn't even pull his pants down. When he sits down on the toilet, he still has his pants on, and when he gets up, you hear the toilet flush, and it's like, Link, you're not even doing it right!
it's like he
It's
has a hole in
magic!
his pants. Oh, by the way, did I mention at the bird flying contest? It was the 25th annual bird flying contest.
Oh, I see. To the 25th anniversary of the franchise, an
I know.
homage
It was-
to that.
It was such a bad point when it was such a bad thing when I just saw it first. Like, oh, by the way, it's our 25th annual, as you all know, and I'm like, oh, really?
An homage.
Secondly, second thing, you go view temple and do some stuff like that.
Don't talk too much, dude. I want to be surprised when I play the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're kind of running out of
I've been
time
talking
here, and we
quite
actually
some
need to
time
keep
now.
this,
I know, there's so much stuff.
yeah. And we'll have a lot
Basically-
more to talk about once we get to the Zelda episode in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I have a lot of stuff to talk about, yay.
Yeah. But overall, you must have been having a lot of fun playing those games. But we'll definitely have to keep our we'll have to definitely keep our minds open when we try them out. When they release in the next couple weeks. So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a long one. I'm sorry, guys.
But anyway, Omega, what have you been playing besides Sonic Generations?
More Sonic.
Oh, just that really.
Just
No,
that? Okay.
Did play Dragon Ball Ultimate Tenkaichi.
How
Oh,
was it? I need to ask. I need to know.
It's a good game,
But
but it's just too quick time based while fighting.
uh,
kind of like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, too.
No, the boss battles are, the boss battles draw some inspiration from that. But I mean in the match, like if you're doing a combo, like the last bit is like a quick time between you and the computer or online
Uh-huh.
to see who can get the thing first. It's like a mini
So you
rock
can't
paper
rush
scissors
up.
match.
Although this is between a rock and a paper, it's like paper. Yeah, I win. Rock
Yeah.
paper, I win.
Or they actually call it Junkin in Japanese.
Yeah.
check it. But still, it's yeah.
But like the anime scenes are brilliant. They're like, well,
How
they
is
say
Hero Mode?
Kai. They say that Kai is meant to be good, but
Uh-huh.
this is more HD than Kai.
Oh, yeah.
Well, most because Kai is taken directly from the original episode. It just they cut it up to fit with the manga in it. The only thing new is that they did the voice acting again.
Well, yeah, redub it to fit the scenes of the manga.
Yeah, because
precisely.
otherwise it would be a bit confusing. But yeah, that's the only difference they did.
Uh-huh.
This one they actually made. They did the entire. From what I know, they did every new scene. They did not take it straight from the anime.
Right. Anything else, Omega?
No, that's it.
Okay. Now
Well, that's
I've also been
lovely.
playing Sonic Generations. I really don't have that much more to add, and I finally finished up Kingdom Hearts with the video recording, and I am about ready to move on to Tales of the Abyss, which should be the next Let's Play after Donkey Kong 64. So I'm definitely going to be putting in a good 40 or 50 hours of gameplay towards that, or recording, that is.
Sounds fun.
Oh yes, Tales of the Abyss. It's definitely. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I definitely think it's a really good entry in the Tales series, and definitely think that the protagonist is one of the most well-developed in the franchise by far. So, I mean, he starts off spoiled, but then all of a sudden you see him turn into a selfless hero, and you actually see how dynamic his character changes and how greatly it's been done. So, yeah, it's definitely one that you guys need to get your eyes on when you guys buy it on the 3DS, which should be coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Anytime
it.
now.
Yeah, and then the other game that I am about to play, but I just bought recently, was Kirby Mass Attack on the Nintendo DS.
Nice.
Yes, it's the game where you play with the stylus, where you control the 10 Kirbys together, so it's more like an RTS rather than just a platforming game in general.
Oh my god, everyone has had a massive heart attack. 10 Kirby's? Insulin! Quick!
10 times the cuteness!
10 times the cuteness! Insulin! Give me now!
I think K-Wife would be in heaven if she played that game, and I'm pretty sure she has played that game and was already in heaven by that time. But anyway, that's all I have on my plate for me in terms of what I've been playing. But anyway, it's time for Bad Gamer to give his 2 cents about another big release that's been out this week, and one that he has been playing. So I
Yes.
take it to you, Alex.
Yes, well, as you guys, as I said earlier, I played Uncharted.
Uncharted 3?
Uncharted 3,
No, Uncharted
yes.
2. No, Uncharted 2. Stupid.
But yeah, Uncharted 3, and it was more than I expected. My mind just, wow. For, the story is, as you know, between Drake and Sully.
Right.
And I waited for this kind of story because I always liked Sully in the first and second one. So I was wondering what the deal was between them. And it seems he's basically a father figure to Drake. Because it's something that happened. I'm not going to say too much because I want you guys to play it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it takes them through London, through many different areas to search for sort of Atlantis in the sand.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm not going to say too much, but what I'm going to say is mostly what the developers themselves said. So I will try not to spoil much.
Okay.
The music is on a different level to me than the last two. It's much more. Some of them I really like. Oh, this one is really good, and they really stuck to my head.
So they're more memorable.
For me, at least, it's just some of them quite early on. If you listen quite carefully to background music, it's really good. The graphics has got not a big uplift, but the character models have actually got it because now they took in the thing. It's much more fluid. The characters move more naturally.
Okay.
So, like, if you go to a wall and they walk, they put their hands and really follow the wall, and then slowly move their hand. It's just those nice details, and the flames are really good, and the sand in this game, when you eventually comes that far in the game, is wow.
How are the physics?
As they always been, kind of really good actually. So
Well, I was talking about more of the boat level or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, that was the boat level. It was amazing playing that. And all I can say also the final boss was a bigger improvement. Was a big improvement to the second one. The second one was basically Benny Hill. Yes, this one actually had a much more was much more on a really epic scale because of when you fought and everything started crumbling around you as you tried to run away. And it was so much more like, wow.
Okay.
Many moments almost like, wow.
So it's it's radically different than the first two games, but it's one that'll blow your mind more.
And for me, it did. I expected some new, but I didn't expect this much. Although I still agree that it has some flaws, like the AI is sometimes psychic.
Oh yeah.
And the typical that they can hit you in 3 kilometers distance, and they will hit you perfectly. And whenever I hold a gun,
that has always been the problem with the game.
Yeah, that's the main problem I still have. Is like the enemies has super accuracy. It's like tracing. It's like man seeking bullets.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's still a good game. The story is very good, and I recommend anyone who likes the Uncharted games to play this one.
So you definitely give it your 2 big thumbs up.
Yes. 2 big thumbs up, and I hope for a sequel.
Well, it's hard to say because we all know that with Naughty Dog, they usually end things off after a trilogy. But, it's never too late for a 4th one to get underway, but we'll just have to determine whether or not if they choose that direction.
The only thing I say that if they do a sequel, Naughty Dog must do it, because I cannot...
Guys.
What?
The last time I remember, Uncharted is Naughty Dog's franchise.
Yeah.
Your point.
Crash?
Right? Crash Bandicoot wasn't Naughty Dog's franchise, it was Universal Studios'. If you remember the first Crash Bandicoot, it says Naughty Dog, but it says Universal Interactive Studios. And who are Universal Interactive Studios now?
They're with Activision?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
but I still hope for a sequel anyway, and...
Well, I mean, the same can be said for Jak and Daxter, but they still haven't made a sequel aside from whatever that... I guess it was Snowblind Studios that made The Lost Frontier or whatever.
Maybe, I don't know, but still, to conclude on that mini review I have of it, I still hope for a sequel, even if I don't get it. a good ending and a very good trilogy, which I recommend anyone with a PS3 plays.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a really good endorsement there, Bad Gamer. I'll definitely have to
Well,
get back.
I
Well, I'll
also
definitely have to
played-
get back on track with Uncharted 2 and to make sure that I beat that first before I get to Uncharted 3. But yeah, it looks like
Yeah, it is a continuum from the second one, so yeah, certain characters do pop up from the second one, so...
oh yeah. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up from him, and definitely should be a big thumbs up from all of us as well. So yeah, be sure you guys go pick it up
There's a
today.
Sure.
Is there something as awesome as the Scarometer?
What?
You don't know about the Scarometer, do you?
No, there's no clowns in the game.
Oh. But also don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, Nathan Drake has this book where he writes things down.
Oh,
about
yeah, I have
his
looked-
puzzles, and in the second game has
No,
a
there were
Scarometer.
there were no scarometer in this one. I looked through the book every time something new happened.
Oh.
Oh well.
But that's not the only thing I've also been playing. I also finally got my butt up and played some Xenoblade.
Oh, nice. How far along are you with the game?
I'm 12 hours in, and from what I can gather, I just got a new party member. So we're 4 parties up, but there's still many more to go.
Yeah, you still haven't made it. You still haven't made the 25% mark of the whole game yet. So
I don't think so. Although we still just had an epic battle against the mechanoids. It's an awesome game. The music is amazing. I'm listening to it right now during the podcast.
well, I mean, you can't go wrong with the music if you have Yasunori Mitsuda and Yoko Shimomura doing the music together. So yeah.
Oh no, the opening main theme just amazing. Every time I start up that game, I just sit down for 3.5 minutes and just listen to that one. Every
Amazing.
time.
One of the most amazing themes in history of mankind.
Yeah, and everyone who has a Wii that lives in Europe, buy it.
Yeah, and we're still.
If you're also, if you're a fan of RPG, then you have to be a fan of RPG. But
Like I said, I'm still envious of you guys getting those games because Nintendo of America still needs to get them over here.
as I said, I pity that you cannot play it because you would love it.
Oh yeah, I would definitely love it. I'd definitely put in a lot of time for that game and even do a let's play of it.
I mean, the only thing that bugs me was the dub.
Oh yeah.
God, British people everywhere. I have nothing against you, Omega. It's just when I hear a full cast of just British people and majority of them sound almost like Cockney, it was like,
Oh, what, like, do you want another crumpet while we're talking load of stuff about video games, or a cup of tea?
and I'm more like, hey, no, Governor, how are you doing? I was like, what? No, I could not, and so I just switched back to Japanese, and I was like, okay, better.
Okay. But you've been playing anything else besides those 2 games?
Yeah, I played some Hydrophobia also, which came out on PSN, so did not like it. Although the water physics are really good. But that's most because they are unscripted, so how they move and something is the game did not control it that way, but
Oh, I see.
I did not like it, so.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that will go ahead and that will conclude our episode of the 40S Audio Podcast. And we all hope that you enjoyed this episode. And to sign off, I am Double RPG.
I'm Bad Gamer.
I'm Carlio.
No, I'm Omega Mario.
And you guys have any plugs before we go?
Yes, that's the other 2. The show, people, we need more fans. Also, we would also like. No, nothing more. Just make sure to get our show out.
Yeah, but we're definitely we're now on Got Game, but I'm working through a couple things with the guys, and then we should be made available to the public on their site very shortly.
Yay.
Yes,
Yay.
finally. It's been a long process, but yeah, it looks like
Yep.
we're finally going to get some more recognition than we already got right now. And we'll definitely put this up on iTunes shortly after that as well. I do need to make a feed for that, for the podcast as well. So, and then we'll be up on there. And
when we would also like if you guys want to have any questions to us, guys. So
yeah, and if you guys would like to be a special guest on some of our shows, be sure to leave a comment in the comment box below. And
we will reconsider if you want to or not.
yeah, well, we have to make sure that they're not trollish or anything, or else we can't even have them on there. So
Yeah.
We're a serious game podcast, guys. Right?
yeah, we're very serious. This is a very serious place, and we'll even put the picture of the serious cat, looking at the serious thread on the computer, and it's telling you this is a very serious thread. I am a very serious cat, or whatever.
This is business.
This is business. Okay, Carlio, Omega, do you guys have anything to plug?
Nothing special. No.
Okay. And
My
Omega, I'm
first
sure you're going to say
video
your first
was
impressions.
Sonic Generations.
Yeah, your first impressions video, right?
Yeah, which I spent hours and 7 Sony Vegas crashes.
But don't worry, it will get up eventually. Just you got to keep trying, and I know there are some points where you're going to have to make some changes, but it will probably
No,
be
I
for
don't
the
need
better.
to make any changes. It's completely finalized. It's just the rendering now, which I was trying to do before we started recording this.
Okay.
I remember he tried to do it under recording, but that went very well, didn't it?
Yeah, that didn't work out very well.
And it's
Well-
yeah. Anyway,
I don't have anything to plug aside from, be sure to go to my
Your
channel and watch my Let's Plays, and be sure to support this podcast, as we do like to put in a lot of time and effort and giving you guys a really good show every week. And I really don't have anything else to say. I don't have any...
about it, Double R. How comes I ain't in your other channels box? You're in mine.
What?
Your other channels box on your channel page.
Oh, I'm on yours?
You're on mine, yeah.
Okay, I'll put you down on my other channels as well. So I'll be sure to do that after this is over. But anyway, guys, we all hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we shall definitely see you next week for the 4DS Audio Podcast. As I said, this is Double RPG, and we're signing off. Later, guys.
bye, people.
Goodbye.
Uncharted.
Good gaming.
Goodbye, folks, and we will see you next week.
Bye, Uncharted 3.
Oh, he's seriously gonna kill me for that if I keep using that phrase.